Hi guys, my name is Sean. I'm a houseplant enthusiast from Jakarta, Indonesia. I was here last week to do a video with Nyonya Destira where we toured this complex airplane sound above. Alright, so I lost my train of thought, but the airplane's gone. So I'm at Titik Hijau, or in English is Green Point, translated into. So I'm here with Rico, and I was here last week and Rico told us a little bit about his personal strive, his personal stories and challenges, and his vision for the nursery and his kind of mission to help the others succeed in the export business. So I am back today to share his life story, to share his philosophy and his goals and all that good stuff. Right, Mr. Rico.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So tell us, maybe a little bit about your biography, when you started your career, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, actually, once again, my name is Rico Rusdiansyah. We live in Depok, Sawangan, Indonesia, West Java actually. I start my business for the plant selling, starting about 2017 actually. 2017 we start from local market only, and then since 2018 we start for the export. The first country that we did export for the Korea actually. Korea has a good market for the philodendrons, anthurium, and others actually for that times. And then during the time there are many other countries who expect from Indonesian sellers, Indonesian exporter to get the plant from Indonesia. Yeah, that's why we start to build our company to have a license for the export as a company, because before when we did export to the Korea, it was illegally, without any permit, without any phytosanitary, something like that. But in Korea it is legal because it's allowed to do the export, to do the import there without any phytosanitary, as long as the plants only 10 pieces maximum. That's legal there in Korea, but here in Indonesia it's not allowed actually. That's why after considering all the opportunity, all the problems here to get the company, we need to do that to expand our business actually, to do the export around the world. 2018 we start for the Korea, and then 2019 we built our company legally, which is the name is PT Alchemy Berkah Bersama. Until now we have been running about 3 years, I think, going 4 years to have the plant business.
So you started with local business at first,
business.
And then how did you get into the rare plants?
How could I get the rare plant? Firstly, I didn't know about the plants actually, because my background from the chemistry. I start in the university with the chemistry major. I ever work in the mining company, oil and gas company. I don't know about the plants actually. So when I start the as a plant sellers, I try to learn about the plants actually, and then even from the regular plants, like gloriosum and then melanochrysum, something like that. We call it that regular plants. Back to the question, how do I get the rare plants? I don't know the rare plant actually before, but I know the name from my customers. They mention every single name of the plants, and I don't know the which one the plants, and then how to get the plant. I try to find in the Facebook, in the marketplace, or something like that. Luckily in Indonesia, after we find the supplier, after we find the collectors, there are many collector items here in Indonesia. like you know, before Jupi, Lelan Miano, and then what else? Monstera Min, Monstera Obliqua, Monstera White Min. Everything is available here in Indonesia because before, a long time ago, there are many collectors. They brought the plants from the overseas as their collection actually, and then once we realize it is collector item, it is rare in these times, so we try to approach them to have it, even one leaf, even small plant, to get them as a mother plants. Yeah, that's the history actually. And then I got insight as well from my friends who start the business the same times with me when we do the exports. He gave me the advice that if you want to be the plant sellers, you need to increase your value, because we don't know the trends of the plants when will be stopped. So you need to have the backup. When you have the backup, so your business will be survive anytime. Yeah, how to do that? Yeah, you have to have the collector items. So how to get the collector items? Yeah, like I told you before, I got the money from the export regular plants, and then we don't use the money directly to spend for the commercial things. I do buy the collector item like GPI. Before it's quite rare here in Indonesia, even in the world, I think. And then Lelan Miano as well, Monstera Min. Yeah, that's I did to get the collector items. After we found the collectors, the collector owners, and then we try to approach them smoothly to get their collector actually. Yeah, some plant we get from the overseas as well. We do import from the other country to get the new mother plant here. Yeah, that's the strategy, I think. But the things that you need, you have to predict about the business trend in the future. What will be the trend, and then what will be the price for the next. So your investments will have the value. So you will be confident to running the business with the collector's items. Yeah, that's my suggestion, I think, for the new sellers, new player, for the exporter, I think. That's why you have to do the market analysis every day because the trends are always changing, right? The trends always changing, and then the price always changing, the plant kinds always changing. So you need to analyze every day. It's quite tired, I think, but yeah, this is your business. You have to be survive on it, right?
Yeah. And you mentioned in the last week that you actually do have to know a lot of people from all over the world. You need to check with the prices, because prices are different everywhere and at different times, changing.
Yeah, even locally, you have to build the relationship with the hunters, with the farmers, and then with the friends, sellers, something like that. So you will know the trends locally. You will know the trend locally. You will know the source locally, and then once you get that data, you have to compare with the overseas market. Like we say, the market here, the epicentrum in the Asia, US, and then Europe, right? You have to build the relationship with even with the collectors, sellers. You have to build the relationship with them, so there will be share the current condition there in their country. So when you're running the business, when you sell the plants, you will no doubt to sell the plants with, like, sometimes you worry about the price, right? How much that I can sell to that country, right? every single country has different habit, has different trend, has different price as well. So once you know that, you can get the good selling price, of course with the good margin as well, right?
Yeah.
Because let's say one Singonium in Europe cheaper than Thailand, and then sometimes higher than US. So you can decide which country that you can sell, so you can get the good profit on that. Yeah. That's my strategy actually. That's why our business quite stable, and then tend to increase for the revenue month to month since we start the business. So until now, we are confident to running the business for the futures with our way actually. So I suggest you to do this way as well to survive in this business. Yeah, that's our strategy actually.
So networking is super important. Being connected with the world, because
Of
you're
course.
playing in a global
Yes.
field.
Yes.
And tell me, like, everything here is super expensive, and you don't have investors. Obviously, you built everything here, but you built this. Tell us how that's done.
Yeah, actually, like I told you before, I start this business since 2017, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I have no experience. I have no passion in plants actually, but I have experience in the business. Yeah, I start as a professional worker, professional employee, so I know the environment of business since I work in the professional company. So I'm thinking that the plan is only the product, right? The plan is only product. When you build the business, you have to apply the business strategy. That's my strategy, I think. So when I start this business, I have no capital because I was an employee, right? I was no capital. When you compare with what I have right now, you cannot imagine how much capital that you spend in current time.
Yeah.
It's quite big. So since I started in 2017, I spent only 35 USD, I think.
What? Really?
Seriously, I start with the 35 USD. Mm-hmm. I bought the plan, the regular plan actually, since we start with the local market. Mm-hmm. 35 USD. I start with my carport, and then I park my car at another place in my townhouse. So my carport became the like nursery, small nursery. Yeah, I post every day since the 35 USD. In the night, I bought the plant from the small nursery. The next day, becoming $100, I think.
Okay, still local, yeah, not export yet.
Local.
Okay.
$100. I didn't buy anything unless plant.
Okay.
So I just turn all the money with the plants. I got the profit, buy new plant, got the profit, buy new plant, and then that's what I did before. So once we got the export opportunity, I still use that way actually. That's why export margin is quite good because here, to be honest, when before when we start the business export, the local price is very cheap. We can get about 300 or 500% for the margin. So we got very good margin, and then that money we can buy for the collector items. Yeah, that's I did before. That's why during 3 years, I think, since the beginning, I didn't buy anything for my personal things. I think I just bought the plants until 2021. I try to appreciate myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I buy a new car, I buy a motorcycle or something like that, whatever I want, right? But my investment, I mean, like my mother plan here, if we calculate the value, it's quite enough to cover my life.
Yeah.
At least for the next 3 years, I think. if we are doing business with the plant selling.
Nice. And tell us about this land that we're standing on. Is this owned or rented?
No, this is my own.
This is your own.
This is my own.
Did you get it after the nursery, or you always had this land?
Yeah. No. We got the this nursery since 2000. At the end of 2020. You know the strategy.
Yeah.
Since I have many collector items, but not enough to be sold directly, so I made the pre-order.
Okay.
You know, by pre-orders I can buy these plants. You know, but the customers should pay cash in advance.
Do you know which species or just everything?
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Everything. But especially for the collector item like Min, Jupi, and then Adansoni obliqua, white Min, white monsters. I have the mother plants, but it's not enough to be sold directly. So I need to produce them first, but I need the money to buy the land, the new land, the new nursery. Yeah. So I set the strategy. That's a marketing strategy actually. Yeah. That's why when I apply the pre-orders, there are many interesting people to buy the plants by pre-orders, even cash in advance.
Nice. And they're exports or
no, locally,
yeah.
Locally, especially only locally, and then we got quite enough money to buy the new land, and then to build this nursery. Yeah. And then the rest of the plants that is what's that? The rest of the plants that only for the mother plants, we sell it directly to compete and then to meet the money that we spend for the this land actually. Yeah, that's the history of this nursery. I just moved in this nursery, I think last April, I think.
Okay. And it's an investment too. Land is a crazy good investment.
Yes. Yeah.
So my God, you started with the carport, and then you have a land now, you have a nursery here, and so many crazy expensive plants, because you do propagate,
Yeah, I do by myself actually.
You do propagate, and some of them you rely on hunters to get the mother plants. So that's amazing. Not everybody can do this. Do you know of, do people, do you have friends that do this as well? And are they successful? Do they fail? What is generally?
Yeah, there are many. Once the plant export, plants selling is becoming popular, there are many people who want to try this business actually, but they don't know the strategy. They just following the trends. Like, you know, some people call it monkey business, right? You know, when you think this is the monkey business, I think you will be speculating. You know, just buying the plant and then sell directly, get the margin, and then once you want to buy the new plants, the price is higher, and then you need to spend more money to buy the new plant. Always like that. At the end, you will lose because there is no margin anymore. Yeah. Right. But when you are doing export, the market's very wide. You need to support globally. Yeah. There are 7 billion people here in the world, right? So it's not enough. It's not enough. The one that you need to do is only consistent with this business, being focused with this business. I think you will get the returns. I think you'll be success on it.
Yeah, and I guess hearing your story, like people who are starting small and they're earning their first profit, they should not run out to buy Adidas shoes. They need to reinvest for the future, because that's what I'm hearing from you, is that you are very good at reinvesting everything and just growing, focus on the growing,
Yeah.
on the future. That's interesting.
Because at the end you need to propagate, you need to produce the plants, and then to get sustainability, right? Because we cannot do it only moment by moment. But once you start the business, you have to set the strategy. You have to produce by yourself, because let's say this all the Florida Beauty, I never sell even one pieces right now since 2021. I grow by myself. I bought 20 pieces only before. I bought 20 pieces only. I think right now, about 100 pieces. I never sold it. But once we can do the harvest time, you can calculate 100 pieces time, let's say 300 only.
Yeah. So you have to have really like patience, because you're sitting on gold. This is actually worth a lot of money now.
Yeah.
But then you really have to control yourself.
Yes.
And this is something that not many people can do.
Yeah.
So
that's why. Since the beginning, you have to set your strategy. Which one that you need to grow, which one you need to sell directly, which one you need to collect it, grow it for the investment. Let's say for the Monster, I have it since 2019. I never sold it since one plant only. One plant only, and then I think about 7 leaves. I bought it 4 leaves. 4 leaves in this 2019, it's about 4,000 USD for the Monstera means. And then 2020, at the end of 2020, I chop it, and then I make it as pre-order. Because I have not enough mother plants, right? I make it as a pre-orders for the 4 months delivery after payment. That's why until now, I think I have about more than 10 mother plants.
Okay.
Only like that. So
nice.
it's about strategy, I think.
Yeah, and also about earning trust. People trust you. That's why they, are willing to do pre-order.
Yeah, the one that we need to build for the business, especially for the overseas business.
Yeah.
Because people need to spend the money without any tracking, right? Yeah. You didn't know each other's.
Yeah.
But the one that you can do is you need to trust with the customers, and then the customer need to trust with us to drop the money, and then they get the plants. Because plant price right now is not really acceptable for some people, right? Yeah. Because it could be like 10,000 USD per leaves or something like that. But they are not dubbed to spend it for us. Yeah. With direct transfer with my company account. Some people still using PayPal, and then others providers, but they spend to my bank account directly. There is no risk for us, and then I guarantee I will spend. I will send the plants to your house, and then with the good quality, something like that. Yeah. That's the point, I think.
Yeah, I think we mentioned in last week's video that for some of the plants you actually make sure the variegation is stable before you ship them out. So I think quality is one thing that not a lot of sellers do honor, but I think here you have a good system. And you're not in a hurry to sell them. I remember you saying like you wanted to wait until you have more plants until they're stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm really impressed. This is why I came back this week to kind of hear your story. Maybe one last thing. What do you think of the future? Because things are changing really fast after COVID.
Future is still unpredictable. Actually, the one that you have to do is you have to be consistent with this business. But back again, like I told you before, business strategy need to do market analysis every day. Yeah. You have to do the market analysis in Asia, in US, and then in the Europe, what is the trends, and then what will you do? What is the price, and what is your price? It's something like that. So for the long term, you have to set your backup. Like I told you, my collector item is my backup. A daily business is for the regular plants. We are doing export for the gloriosum, melanochrysum, everything that we call it regular plants. We earn money from that, but once we want to get the high money from the plants, we just sold the collector items. Yeah, that's my strategy. But back to the your question for the futures, I think the same trend, bro. The same trend, because you need to provide globally, right?
Yeah.
Not every people has the melanochrysums. Not every people has the gloriosum. The demand still there, but the one that you can do is only promote it, and then make sure that you are the trusted sellers. That's the first thing I think. And then, like I told you before, marketing strategy. You need to set your marketing strategy. Just doing B2B business, and then for us right now we are doing retail. Even one pieces we can do shipping for the customers in overseas, and then we do wholesale shipment, wholesale selling for the customers, and then contract base. Contract base. You know, like for the Monstera aurea, all of this is under contract actually. Even though the quantity is not enough yet, but we are growing. It is under contract.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for the confidently business in the futures, I think.
So you shared off screen basically that you also help other people export. You help them do the process. You also want to see the industry grow and succeed. So that's a really good thing. And also, when you all have a community, you also start to understand what you mentioned before, the research in the future. Like you start to share information, right? Because information is super important as to what people are looking for, how much they're paying for it.
Yeah.
That kind of data, that's what's really actually very valuable in your business. Do you see yourself expanding the space more, because everything is so full now?
Yeah. We just bought the new land actually separately from here. It's quite I think nearby my house. So I will set this nursery only for the collector items, and then my office only. We will set the new office for the second floor, and then for the regular plants we will set in the new land. Yeah, for the retail actually.
I'm assuming that's going to be bigger, the land for the
almost the same. Almost the same.
Size.
Yeah. The difference of the alchemy, titik hijau, and alchemy business is I'm thinking that I'm the trader, even though that I'm doing growing here, but I just set my business is only for the trader. So I don't need big land, and then big nursery to grow many plants, but I just do collaborations with the farmer, with the other sellers to provide some plant that I think it could be my needs for the next.
Yeah.
So I will tell them like top 10 of the needs in the world that I think it is prospect for the business. So they will grow it. Once it is ready, I will absorb everything.
Nice. That's interesting. Actually, I'm thinking that now for my own business, because I have a small space, and also because I've been touring around and I see there are many growers. Some of them are struggling. Some of them have a difficult time selling.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, do I want to grow my own plants and compete with them, or do I want to work with them? So I don't know the answer. I think I really would love to work with people.
Yeah.
But I'm exploring. So yeah, it's nice that you're sharing this idea, because there are truly a lot of farmers in Indonesia, and their lives are being improved also by these plants, and sometimes we want to share sort of the the success with other people. For those of you overseas, this is so you know what's happening in Indonesia, because I know that a lot of you guys are purchasing plants from here. So yeah, this is what's going on, and whenever you're purchasing plants from Indonesia, you're contributing to the success of local growers and also local business makers like Mr. Rico here. So we thank you for your support, into the Indonesian plant market. Hopefully that support continues. Please do check out his nursery. We have a few videos, but the Instagram is going to be up on the screen. He has an Etsy page, which is going to be in the description of the video. So yeah, I guess thank you so much, Mr. Rico, for your time. I'm at Botanist, so feel free to reach out to me at any time. And for those of you who are asking me if I know anyone who exports, this is one of them, one a very good candidate, whether you're a customer or whether you're a business. Yeah, all right, take care. Bye.